Ladies and gentlemen, if you're over 60, listen very carefully to what I'm about to say because no one is telling you the truth about what's coming. And I don't mean next year, I mean now. Something very real is already in motion, silently and visibly shaping what the next decade of human life will look like. And yet, most people over 60 aren't being told about it, not because they can't understand it, but because those who control the flow of information don't think you should. But I disagree. You deserve to know the truth. And by the end of this message, I'll tell you what's really happening, why no one over 60 is being told the truth about what's coming, and how to prepare for it before it's too late. And remember, the fourth point I will share with you is the most important point that will guide you toward this coming crisis no one is telling you about. So, whatever you do, don't skip anything I say. Every sentence connects to the next. And if you miss one piece, the message won't make sense. And I promise by the end you'll understand why this may be the most important message you've heard in your entire life. Now before I continue, let me ask you a question. What city are you watching from? Drop it in the comments below. I want to see seniors from across this country and across the world speaking up, because this message is not just for one state or one city. This message matters to every one of us across the world. And if you value clarity and genuine information in today's challenges, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and turn on the bell icon, because this kind of message, the one you're about to hear, doesn't get shared often, but it might be exactly what you or someone you love needs to hear right now. I promise you by the end of this message you'll understand something most people will refuse to believe. You will see a side of things connected to what is happening in America today that the mainstream is not showing. You see, most people think the future is just about faster cars, better phones, smarter gadgets. But the truth is, it's not technology that's changing, it's humans. The world is quietly entering a phase where those who understand how to adapt will thrive. Those who wait for the old systems to protect them will be left behind. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable. Those who should be most prepared, those who've lived through wars, recessions, and revolutions, are the ones being kept in the dark. Why? Because every major shift in history has always come with a pattern. Before truth is revealed, the people who hold the power make sure those who have wisdom are the last to know. That's what's happening right now. But you and we're not going to let that happen again. Before I tell you what's coming, I want you to answer this for yourself right now in the comments. I can sense something changing, or I still believe everything will stay the same. Choose one, and type it below. I really want to see how many people feel what's happening. Now listen carefully, because I'm about to give you the first strategy to prepare for what's coming. And remember, the fourth strategy is the most important. It's not about buying anything, it's about regaining control of something most people have completely lost. Attention. Preparatory strategy 1. Reclaim your focus before it's reprogrammed. In the past 10 years, something extraordinary has happened. Technology that was designed to serve humanity has quietly begun directing humanity. Most people think they're choosing what they see, read, or believe. But the truth is, algorithms are choosing for them. And this affects seniors the most, because while younger generations grew up inside these digital systems, older generations were introduced to them and taught to trust them. That's dangerous, because your attention, your ability to think deeply, to reflect, to choose has become the most valuable asset in the world. If you lose your focus, you lose your freedom. So here's what I want you to do for the next 31 days. Use what I call the 31-day daily high-impact planner. It's a simple daily practice. Write down your top 3 intentions each morning, and one truth you discovered that day before you go to bed. It doesn't sound like much, but this single habit retrains your mind to think independently again, to observe, not just react. You'll begin noticing how headlines, news, and even social media patterns try to pull you emotionally. You'll begin seeing through illusions, and that's the first step toward preparation and awareness. Because what's coming next requires a mind that's awake. There's a reason why the systems aren't telling you what's really happening. If they did, people would start preparing differently. They would start asking deeper questions, spiritual questions, moral questions, economic questions, questions that reveal just how fragile the current system really is. But here's the truth. It's not too late. What's about to unfold will create both the biggest wave of opportunity and the deepest wave of confusion humanity has ever seen. And the people who will thrive are those who are mentally, spiritually, and emotionally prepared. So let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly felt in control of your time, your thoughts, your emotions? When was the last time you felt like you were driving the direction of your life, instead of being driven by everything around you? Tell me in the comments, because that right there is where preparation begins. In the next few minutes, I'll tell you exactly what's happening right now that almost no one over 60 is being told. And I'll show you how to protect yourself and your loved one. But remember this, what I'm sharing isn't theory, it's already unfolding. So stay with me. Do not skip. Do not click away, because everything you'll hear from this point connects to the final truth that no one is saying out loud. And once you understand it, you'll never see the world the same way again. This is preparation, and preparation is wisdom. If you're still here, it's because something inside you knows this is not just another talk, you can feel it. What I'm saying isn't theory, it's reality. And the reality is the changes coming aren't far off. They're already shaping the decisions that will define the rest of your life. I want you to imagine something for a moment. What if overnight the systems you've relied on for decades suddenly shifted their rules without asking you? What if the policies, technologies, and financial structures you assumed would always be there quietly moved into a new phase you weren't prepared for? That's not what if. It's already happening. I've seen it up close, and it's the reason no one over 60 is being told the full truth. Because if they were, they would start making choices that protect themselves, instead of feeding into the next phase of control. The question is, are you willing to see what others don't want you to see? Drop this in the comments, so I know you're awake. I refuse to be left behind, or I'm still unsure but I want to see more. Choose one. Type it now. Let's see how many of us are ready to face the truth head on. Now listen carefully, because this is the second key to preparing yourself. The first step we talked about, reclaiming your focus, is about taking back your mental space. But there's a second layer to this, most people overlook completely. Preparatory strategy 2. Build a private network of truth before the window closes. Here's a hidden pattern almost no one notices. Every major shift in history starts with a small group of people knowing the truth early and everyone else finding out too late. Right now, the world is more connected than ever. Yet people have never been more isolated in their information. What you're being shown, what you're being told, what's trending, it's not random, it's filtered. And as these filters tighten, the flow of real information shrinks. That's not an accident. It's why, despite the internet, most seniors over 60 don't know what's actually coming. Because the truth streams you're plugged into have been engineered to keep you calm, compliant, and quiet. The only way out of this trap is to intentionally build your own private network of truth. This doesn't mean conspiracy, it means connection. It means reaching out to 5, 10, even 15 people in your life who are curious, awake, asking the same questions you are. It means forming small circles of trust, people who look beyond the headlines and share what they find. Do you have that? Or are you still depending on the same 3 TV channels and social feeds you've always used? Because if you don't build your own truth network now, when the real changes arrive, you'll be learning about them from those who benefit, not those who care about you. I can't do that for you, but I can urge you to do it now before the window closes. And while you're doing that, keep using your 31-day daily high-impact planner. Write down not just your intentions, but the names of people you're going to connect with. Start a small circle, meet once a week, compare what you're seeing, ask each other, what am I missing? This one habit will do more for your clarity than anything else you've tried in years. Let me tell you a story. 2 years ago, an older man in Ohio wrote to me. He had been watching these shifts quietly, feeling unsettled, but doing nothing. Then he started gathering a small group of his neighbors, retired teachers, a nurse, a business owner once a month. At first they just talked. Then they began to notice patterns in local policies, changes in their banking terms, subtle moves in how services were delivered to seniors. By the time a major change in their county's zoning and healthcare services rolled out, they were already ahead of it, prepared with alternatives and solutions. That's not luck, that's awareness. Imagine how different your future would look if you weren't the last to know. This is why this video found you now. Because what's coming next, and I mean very soon, will separate those who prepare quietly from those who wait and hope the old systems will protect them. And the truth is, the systems aren't designed to protect you anymore. I know this is heavy, but it's also empowering, because the sooner you see the pattern, the sooner you can act. So let me ask you, who are the 5 people in your life you could start sharing information with right now? Would you rather be someone who says, I never saw it coming, or someone who says,
we prepared and we're ready. Drop your answer below. Write either, I'm building my circle now, or I'm still thinking about it. Type it now. Let's see who's ready to take the second step. If the first strategy was about regaining your mind, the second strategy is about regaining your community. Without both, you'll be swept up in what's coming, and by the time you realize it, it may be too late. But with both, you'll be ahead of almost everyone. But that's not all, and in a moment, I'll show you why this matters more than you think, and how these hidden patterns are leading to something almost no one over 60 has been told. Stay with me. Don't miss what comes next, because the third strategy will open your eyes to a layer of this transformation that even fewer people are seeing. And remember, the fourth strategy is the most important. This is urgent because it's real, and you deserve to know. You've already started to reclaim your focus. You've begun thinking about building a private circle of truth. But here's something almost no one talks about, because it's the pattern hidden inside the pattern. What's coming next will not just test your attention or your network. It will test something far deeper, your ability to act independently while everything familiar changes around you. This is the one thing almost every person over 60 has been quietly trained not to do. And yet it's the very skill you'll need to thrive in what's coming. Let me ask you something. If tomorrow, without warning, your access to certain services, benefits, or accounts was temporarily restructured, would you know exactly what to do, or would you be forced to wait for someone else to decide for you? Think about that, because we're already seeing the early signs. Banks quietly changing how you can access your own funds. Healthcare systems altering coverage structures without notice. Communities outsourcing decisions about food, energy and safety to entities far away from the people they affect. Most people shrug. They assume the old system will catch them. But history shows the opposite. And that's why you're hearing this now. This video found you because you're supposed to prepare differently. Type this in the comments right now, so I know you're with me. I will act, not wait, or I'm ready to learn how. Choose one. Let's see how many people here are choosing action over waiting. Now listen very carefully. Preparatory strategy 3. Create independent life systems before dependence becomes a trap. You've taken back your focus. You're building your private network of truth, but you must also begin to build practical independence in small deliberate ways now, before the choice is taken from you. This isn't about withdrawing from society, it's about developing backup systems that make you less vulnerable to sudden changes. Here's a truth most seniors don't know. In the next 7 to 10 years, the systems you depend on, financial, medical, formational, will increasingly be tied to digital access points. These access points can be restricted, paused, or altered. When that happens, those who have quietly prepared will keep moving forward. Those who haven't will be forced to wait for approval. You don't have to be one of them. Independent life systems are the hidden key. It can be as simple as learning how to store a week's worth of essentials. Having a secondary way to communicate with your network if digital systems go down, or diversifying how you receive information and resources. It's not paranoia, it's preparation. Let me tell you about a woman named Helen from Arizona. She watched her pension account suddenly freeze during an administrative review. For 2 months, she couldn't access funds she had worked decades to save. She wasn't prepared. After that, she began building small independent systems, a local food co-op with neighbors, a paper record of her critical documents, a backup way to communicate with family without relying on a single platform. When a local emergency disrupted digital systems in her area for a week, she didn't panic. She kept living normally. This isn't theory, this is wisdom. And then remember, the 31-day daily high-impact planner I told you about. Use it now to list the 3 systems you rely on most. And next to each one, write one small way you could make yourself less dependent on it. You'll be shocked how empowering that feels. You'll start seeing patterns you didn't see before. Because the third strategy isn't just a tip, it's a shift in how you see the world. Now let me ask you directly, what are the 3 systems in your life that you depend on the most right now, that if disrupted would affect you immediately? Could you survive a week, a month, or even a day without them? Drop your answer below. Type either I've identified my 3 systems, or I'm still looking at mine. Write it now. This is how you begin to build resilience. 'Cause what's coming isn't designed to make you stronger, it's designed to make you dependent. But once you start to see that pattern, you can break it. This is why I keep saying don't skip, Don't click away, because there's one final layer, one final strategy, the most important of all. It's the one thing no one over 60 is being told. It's the real reason I'm sharing this message with you. And it's what will tie everything you've learned together. The focus, the private network of truth, the independent life systems. What you're about to hear next will open your eyes to a truth so powerful that it's been hidden from seniors for decades. Because if you knew it, you would no longer be easy to control. You've focused your mind. You've built a circle of truth. You've begun creating independent life systems. But now I have to show you the real reason this message exists. The reason why no one over 60 is being told the truth about what's coming. This isn't a guess. It's not a theory. It's a pattern hidden in plain sight. One I've been watching unfold for years. The real shift ahead is not just technological. It's not just economic. It's psychological and generational. There's a coordinated effort, subtle, quiet, to make the generation over 60 the least informed, the least prepared, and the most dependent group in modern history. Because when a group holds wisdom, savings, and influence, the only way to control it is to keep it busy with distractions, while the real transitions happen behind closed doors. That's the truth no one wants you to see. And that's why you're here. You may have felt it already. Rules quietly changing about your retirement or health benefits. Access to certain information being made harder to find. Narratives designed to make you believe you're too late to adapt. All of this is part of a larger pattern, making you feel powerless. So you'll sit back while your autonomy is reduced, piece by piece. But here's the part no one can stop. Awareness. Once you see the pattern, you can act. Once you act, the pattern breaks, and that leads the most important preparatory strategy of all. Preparatory strategy. Build your personal command center of truth and action. This isn't a website, it isn't a subscription, it's a living system that only you control. A physical and digital space where you keep your verified information sources, your critical documents and plans, your contact list of trusted people, your independent ways of communication, your small but powerful next steps for any disruption. It's like a nerve center for your life, but one you design, not one designed for you. This is the hidden key. When you control your own information and action plan, you're no longer dependent on the systems quietly shifting around you. And here's what no one tells you. The earlier you build it, the less fear you'll feel, because fear thrives where there's no plan. Take out your 31-day, daily high-impact planner tonight. Right at the top, my personal command center of truth and action. Start with just 3 items. The first person you'll call in an emergency. The first resource you'll tap if your usual system fails. One independent skill you'll build this month. This one small act will do more than you think. Now let me ask you something real. If everything you rely on digitally changed overnight, your news, your accounts, your access to essentials, what would you do in the first 24 hours? Drop your answer in the comments right now. Type either "I'm starting my command center" or "I'm ready to break the pattern." This isn't just an exercise. This is you telling the world, I see what's happening and I'm not going to be left behind. Because here's the reality. Most people over 60 will never hear this message. Most will continue believing the story they're given. And when the shift comes, they'll be caught off guard, but not you. Not if you start now. That's why I had to tell you this. Because no one else is telling you. This video found you for a reason. You weren't supposed to miss it. And there's more, a deeper layer of this truth I haven't yet shared. In my next video, I'll reveal what's behind the pattern itself, who benefits, and how you can not only protect yourself, but position yourself to thrive, while others scramble. You cannot afford to miss it. Like this video, so more people over 60 can find it. Subscribe now and hit the bell icon, so you don't miss what's coming next. Because the truth isn't just about seeing what's ahead, it's about acting before it's too late. Check my playlist for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.